Hello traders, welcome to our weekly market recap. So this was supposed to be done yesterday, but due to unforeseen circumstances, couldn't be able to do so. However, we can do so now. So let's get to it and see how our pairs, our selected pairs transacted, what we anticipated, how it played out, and what we can expect in the coming week. So we shall start with the GBP USD pair. And last week, this week here, in our previous analysis, we had closed somewhere right below here. And we had seen that we had come from an area of value. From here, we went all the way down and closed below value. So we would say this is price discovery. And right from there, we saw that during the breakout, we had left some virgin points. So we had, when we switched to our sessional profiles, we saw that in the breakout of the weekly level, we had a profile that had left some untouched points of interest. One of them being the volume point of control, and we saw that it was virgin. Since it went down, there was no pullback. And the second one was the value area low right here. So it also was virgin in nature. So this was what we did for last week. Now we can see during the week how things transacted. So during the week, what we saw was on Monday, we created a balanced area. Initially, we broke out of it. Then we had a significant volume area where some huge transactions were seen, and we can see there was price action in there. So with every high volume area, we usually expect an auction. And an auction means both buying and selling. So in right here and here, we can see there was buying and selling in there. So this was a high volume area, which we should pay close attention to. So on Monday, that is what happened there. And we created value in there. So during the course of Tuesday, we can see how these points were reacted to. And in the process, we created what now we know to be overlaps in value. Okay, so when we look at these overlaps in value before the day that we went bullish, if we see like these days here, we can see how value was created. Our volume point of control being right there, value area high, value area low, and without forgetting our high volume area here where we saw price action. Now, we got some news where there was going to be some sort of quantitative easing, and the bullish reaction came from the high volume area right there. And it's in here after the break inside value where now we started moving out. Break outside value, excuse me, break outside value, retest, and the retest was a confluence. When we look at the confluence of retest, we could see that in our composite, we had a value area, we had a volume point of control there. And individually, this day here, so Monday, Tuesday, on Wednesday, this is Wednesday, we saw that we had broken outside its value area. So this will be the value area right there. And we have gone outside. So this is now alerting us to an imbalance or price discovery. So this retest was a confluence of the composite, of the 3-day composite, and the value area high of the day that we broke outside, so of Wednesday. So right in here, for those who are following, I think this is the trade that we took and we shared in our hub. And from here, this is where now we can see we went bullish. For those who were able to take the trade from right here during the news, got in bullish. Of course, some profit taking would have been at those points. But for those who knew what was happening, and with the news confirming that we were expecting some bullish nature, this one was something that we could hold and see how it would have been reacting to our composite. So for those who got it early, right in there, well and good. But the simplest and most effective one would have been the retest of a breakout outside value. So right in here, this confluence right there, very easy and very good risk to reward kind of trade. So what were targets during the week? We saw that, as usual, we had from our weekly analysis, we had the 2 virgin points. Okay. And in these virgin points, we can see if we took a trade there, of course, our first take profit was right there. I think we also shared this. And after the breakout, we got another opportunity to go long. So after hitting our first target, which was the virgin value area low, we got this sort of pullback, and with our footprints confirming that we were still bullish, obviously we were waiting for the next possible target, which would have been the virgin point of control that we had already seen. So this was the second trade. So trade 1, trade 2, and right in there. So easy, profitable trades. So that's quickly a recap. And to finish up with the move, again, we had a value area point here, heavy volumes transacted. We can see there was some price action in there. And this one here, if we add a composite, because you can see there's more overlap. So if we added Thursday too, if we add Thursday too, now what we're looking at is we were well and above the 4-day composite. We are in an imbalance move, and we can see there was volume distribution right in there. Okay, and there's price action over it. So right in here, this is an area. From here, after the volume distribution, it went bullish. So this is the pullback, and usually high volume areas, pullbacks are usually during the sessions which have quite significant transactions taking place. In our case, we're talking of London or New York. So the profitable trade right here, this one here is not profitable right here. So this is still the almost the Asian coming into Tokyo and later on Frankfurt. So we don't want to be taking trades on such I would say low liquidity sessions. So the pullback right here around New York my time, so right at the open and around the cash open right in here, this was the further confirmation of another long. So, and we can see that's where we have closed for the week. So that is simply how things transacted from Monday to Friday. So having seen that, now we can look at our normal, so I don't think we need these again. They've already been retested. So we can just take them out. And now we can look at our weekly analysis. So usually with value, we want to see what we'll call a value area is confirmed when we have both sides initially had transacted from discount to premium. And when we say that, we mean the value area lows were considered discount, and we were able to go long until we get some responsive action from the sellers. So at the premium points, which in our case will refer to value area high. Okay, so what makes an area valuable is when there is equal opportunities for both buyers and sellers, at discount for buyers, premium for sellers. In this case, in this value area, what we see is we have a sell initiation from the premium values, which was also the retest of this value area. And from here, I hope I'm not crowding this too much. Okay, let's do this. And from here, we can see that we are coming from premium, which is a retest of that value, as we saw from this weekly analysis. And we have gone short all the way until we got some responsive buyers. So keep in mind, there is no any price action right in this side. So there's no any price action here. So the only price action that we have seen that is coming from premium to discount is right from this day. So this will be Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday. So Tuesday is when we got the bearish initiation. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we got some heavy responsive buying, which took it, which buyers came in to lift the offers. However, no price action all the way to premium. So this is simply sell initiative, pull back, more sell initiative for continuation. So this is not a valuable area. It is simply an area where sellers are quite strong. And in this case, sellers are usually the strongest at areas of the heaviest traded volumes. In this case, this volume point of control. So in this case, let's just take that off because we don't believe that to be valuable. We only select areas which are valuable. So this is simply a high volume area where we expect that when we come to it, sellers are going to protect their interests. So having seen that, we can see we have now an area where we can expect some selling pressure to come in, because this is where last we saw quite significant volume transactions in the pullback phase. Every action has to be confirmed or denied in the subsequent price action. So we want to see if this bullish momentum is the subsequent price action. Okay. So what now we have is a sell area where we expect some sort of resistance. Now, in this case, we have, what do we have now? So we have value, breakout, heavy selling, movement, responsive bids. We're getting value, as you can see, both sides. So now previous week has shown us that we have created value during the price discovery phase. So what we have now is, this is now what we're working with coming to the next week. So there. And we can give this different colors or whatever just to make it relevant. Okay. So because it's bullish, let's give it a green. And its values, so let's give it some dotted lines there. So this is what we have. We have gone bullish. So from value, heavy volumes, coming back to value, breakout. So now we are in a bullish imbalance price discovery phase. This is what we are working with. And if we continue being bullish, that means this is our target, first target in the weekly perspective, because this is where sellers have come in. So this is what we have with a pound. And if we break it down to the sessional profiling, what we can see is come Friday. Yes, this is Friday. So come Friday, what we have is not only, so because let's look at Monday to Thursday. So Monday to Thursday, what we are having is we have quite significant value overlaps. So we give it a composite to see what that looks like. So a composite of Monday to Thursday, our value area is right in below there. So from this value area, which is a composite of all this, what now we are getting is Friday gave us new volume build. As we can see, this is value because we are getting premium to discount, discount to premium. So this is what we're getting, okay? So we are getting absorption. We're getting absorption at the lows, absorption at the highs. So coming next week, what we have is we are in the confines of Friday. So we're going to select Friday. Let's give it a different color so that we can keep up to date with it so that we know what we're dealing with. So come Monday, come next week, what transpires in the value area of Friday is what is going to tell us what to expect for our early momentum. If this is going to go bullish, obviously we know our target right there. And before we go there, it means we are going to be using our footprint to confirm what we will be seeing. So this is where we have broken it down on the weekly perspective. So if I bring it back to the weekly, what we have is, okay, what we have is, this is our pound picture. Okay, this right here is our pound picture, whereby we have distinctive value areas on the weekly perspective, a distinctive volume area of sellers, and currently we have a distinctive zone where volume is being transacted. So a confirmation of bullish, we're up there. Confirmation of bearish, it's going to be a retest. Okay, so we shall look for the retests of the weekly value, and if we need further confluences, then sessional overlap, the value area high right there, we might end up getting, if you're bearish, will be coming to this area here where we expect some bullish reaction. So that is what we can expect for pound. Finally, let's look at euro, the euro dollar. So as usual, because I've already explained much on pound, I think we all understand the drill. Again, similar weekly. Now, if we remember, this we had already done the previous week. So simply it was just a recap of what was happening. And we saw that we had the weekly perspective, we had value, then we had value again, they're created, and going down, you ask yourself, why this? So let's bring back when we closed last week, if you remember, this is where we were. So when we bring up the sessional daily perspective, we saw that a breakdown. So on the breakdown of after this breakout of value, we had some distinctive value area down here, right there. But as we said, we need price action to consider it to be value. So this was simply an area of selling. So you can see After this distribution, we just went on. So this was not value, simply an area of heavy sell volumes. So let's just do that. And we can see that at the retest during the week, that area here, we got a first reaction very close to it, and we came back. This reaction was a pullback to this value here, and we broke out again, retested it, as you can see, and now we are still in that momentum. So this is the breakdown of why we had this level here. Now, so if we come back to the weekly perspective, this is what we're dealing with. So on the weekly perspective, we can see that this composite here has already been factored in. If you remember how we got this value area, we had factored in all these value overlaps to this week here. And if we bring it up again, we can see there is also some sort of overlap here. As you can see, this last week, and this is last week, and 2 weeks ago, this is what we had. So we have an overlap of value. It's not distinctive right there. So having seen that, what we have now is more composite here. We're getting more composite here. So if that's the case, then now our composite should look something like this here. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, so that's a month. Week 5, week 6. Bring it all the way to the end of a week right there. So what we have is in this composite, now our value area has kind of shifted, but what we can significantly say is this is a 6-week composite. The Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, up to there. So this is a 6-week composite that we have experienced in euro. So that will be our boundary levels, and our volume point of control should be right there. Yeah. So, okay, let's just lock this. Give it a different color for its significance. Or should we give it, since it was bearish, let's give it that. And we can give our value area some sort of outline, which can alert us to the fact right there. Okay. So what now we have is in euro, we have come from a distinctive value price discovery, which has now created a 6-week composite. So this is 1.5. For 1, 2, that will be 1.5 months. So this is what we have in composite format. So when we bring up our sessionals to see how we have transacted outside this value area, so we distinctively we can see where the value area confine is, and we can see after the breakout we got a distinctive volume point here, which is right there. Then Monday, sorry. Then we have this, if this is Friday, so Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. This is Friday. So Monday, value, as you can see, price action. Tuesday, value areas. Wednesday, Thursday. So Monday to Thursday, we have, sorry. So Monday to Thursday, we have composites. Okay, we have overlaps in there. It's only Friday, which if I take this out, it's only Friday, which is a bit distinctive. As you can see, its value area is completely outside what we had in composite. So our composite, our sessional composite now, Monday to Friday, to Thursday, would look like that. Okay, so this obviously was during the course of the week. That's why it was there. And what we have is, I can take this off because it's already part of the value area. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, these overlaps created value area down there. Okay. And its volume point of control should be right there. Okay. Right there. And again, let's give it something. Charters. Okay. And our outline, because this was sessional based, we would consider it to be an area of heavy volumes that transacted over 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So this one has already transacted, and we saw it was also a confluence at a value area, at a heavy volume area that we saw. And now on Friday, which was completely distinctive from these ones here, we also have this that is happening on Friday. So in this case, because this one is already part of that volume, no need again. We've already seen how that transacted. So this is Friday. Again, we're going to create it as an area of heavy volume distribution. So, oops. Okay. And this is similar to what we saw in pound. So Friday acted as a day of negotiations, both pound and euro, as we have already seen. So let's give this something right there. So what we're dealing with now, we brought up the sessional to see how things have been transacting below this 1.5 months of transactions in euro. So now a breakdown of it, we have a value that was created down here, and now we have this also of Friday value being transacted there. So if we bring this down to our weekly perspective to see the bigger picture, what now we are getting is this. So to understand how transactions occurred after price discovery, what now we have is after this, we have a breakout volume distribution, which now looks bullish. As you can see from this perspective, we broke out of value, and obviously we're waiting for a retest, either the primary or the secondary retest levels. In this case, we got it at the secondary, the volume point of control. Then we were bullish. We have come to retest the value area of this 1.5 months, and we went down as a reaction, because right in here we got some responsive selling. But then Friday, we are now getting some negotiation. So this becomes quite significant, because if we are bullish, again, we're either going to retest here. If we maintain this, we know where we are going. And if this is bearish, then simply we know our direction, either there, or continuation, either of the two. So Friday, again, also in Euro, is acting as a day which is going to give us a context of what to expect during the week. Keeping in mind fundamentals, as we can see, fundamentals are quite significant, because they can tell us where we can expect some heavy volume reactions, because fundamentals require volume to show or to transact what is being portrayed in the news outlets and what has been happening in the world. So, for example, in this case, the quantitative easing came at this high volume area. So again, we can see what to expect. So again, we're going to also keep fundamentals in check. So that is it for Euro and Pound. Hope this has been informative for all the profile traders, and I wish you a good weekend and a happy trading week ahead. Thank you, and let's meet again next week.